Hello, Ryan. Hello, Jason. Hello, four others. Hello, tomorrow's band. Hello, Sammy Hanna-Six. Hello, Jason Gemba. Hello, Sarah. Hi, friends. Thanks for coming over to Ars Nova's Instagram account. I was just sitting here doodling on my guitar in the corner, you know. Thanks for coming in. You guys, did you know that you can only do a continuous Instagram feed for 60 minutes and after that it just hard cuts out? Because those are the stakes right now, and I'm very aware of them. I've gotten a notification that Ars Nova NYC has started a live video, which is shaking my very sense of reality. For indeed, I thought it was I. Thanks for tuning in. I don't want to jump in too hard because I want folks to give a little bit of a moment to catch on. But I am going to start with a tune that's not from the album. I'm starting with the song that's a part of the Rags Parkland universe, a song that I wrote for Rags as a part of his sets on the moon, where he, you know, lives in this later half of his life, and plays a lot of tunes about Mars. Am I going to stand up? I think I'm going to stand up. I'm going to do a lot of up and down, because I like to play standing up. So we're going to see how it goes, and whether or not I knock over my, water bottle. Did I say that I'm Andrew Butler? I'm Andrew Butler, Andrew R. Butler, if we're writing it down. I wrote this show that you know about, assumably because you're here, called Rags Parkland Sings the Songs of the Future, and it was at Ars Nova in the fall of 2018. And we got to record an amazing cast album, and it dropped today. The album is out in the world. It's on Spotify. You can get it on iTunes. You can buy a physical CD, but it won't come in the mail for a while because nobody is able to leave their apartments. But the physical CD is beautiful. It has a booklet. I've heard all of these things. I haven't seen them, for indeed, it has not made it to me even, for I am here. So that's what we're doing, celebrating. I'm going to bring on a few of my castmates who are going to cover some tunes from the record. And I'm going to play some songs. And I'm going to start with this one. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah? I'll take that as if something goes terribly wrong, just start yelling in caps in the comments. I'm standing too far away to read them, fortunately, because that would really distract me. But if everything goes all caps, I'll tune in. There ain't no good beer on Mars. There ain't no good beer on Mars. The hops just wouldn't grow right, no matter how hard we tried. No, there ain't no good beer on Mars. Sun don't shine so good on Mars. Now the sun don't shine so good on Mars. That ruddy little dot, it just ain't enough, but it's all we got now. The sun don't shine so good on Mars. All we do is work on Mars. All we ever do is work on Mars. On Earth everybody's looking for work. Well, it must not have looked this far, 'cause all we ever do is work on Mars. And I ain't saying that I'm trying to go back home. No. Even if I could, why should I go down there where everything's so crowded and everybody feels so damn alone? Your bed is always cold on Mars. It's true. Your bed is always cold on Mars. Better get yourself someone to put in it, 'cause two, you can warm it up in a minute. Hey, otherwise you gotta loan your bed on Mars. And I ain't saying that I'm trying to go back home. No. as far as you have run from me. A million miles from the sun, far enough to be forgotten, to be tossed into the sea. The empty sea. There ain't no good beer on Mars. There ain't no good beer on my heart. If you come up for a visit or two, please bring along a bucket of brew, 'cause there sure could be some good beer here on Mars. Hey! Thank you. Oh, knocked over my water bottle. I knew it would happen. I play these music like classes for kids, like little sing-along classes, like little teeny tiny ones. And, you know, they're just like crawling around or doing it, whatever. So I'm very accustomed to like finishing a song and just sort of applauding afterwards, which I think is what we should all do when we do these weird live stream performances, is just immediately applaud ourselves. Oh man, I'm trying to open this beer and it's hard. Yeah, that's like a tune that Rags would play up on Mars where there's no good beer. Unlike here, we're very fortunate to have good beer still. Count our blessings. So there's this questions function on here where you can ask questions, and I thought maybe a fun thing to do, because you're right, I love, keep it up, keep it lit in the chat. But I'm not paying attention to the chat because it goes by quickly, and I'm busy playing songs. I don't know if you noticed. But if you have a question that you're curious to hear the answer to, or just something you'd like to harass me with, you can drop it into the questions function. Yes, thank you for that great question, Haiti St. James. There's this little button that has a little question. It's like a little card with a question on it. If you push it, it'll let you put in a question, and then I'll be able to push it later and be like, oh, here's all the questions people put in, and I'll snag a few. But I'll answer. The idea for Rags Parkland came after I read a bunch of science fiction short stories, and I was writing songs, and I was trying to figure out how to do a show that had a very simple production requirements. The show was originally a solo show; it's just me, and I was like, I could do that. A song that's just a songwriter, and they're just playing, a concert. And then all these science fiction things that I was reading and starting to write these sort of like I'm Anxious About the Future songs. Not the band The Future, who I invented later, but the actual Future. Those two things kind of melded together, and what came out of that was Rags Parkland. Everybody who worked on the show is just in the chat yelling each other's names, which I love that energy. I think we should all do that when we get back into real life. Just continually shout each other's names. That's what I'm going to do when I see people again. So I'm gonna play this tune from the show. Maybe I'll sit for this one. No, I'm gonna stand up. I never play sitting down. It's I find it awkward. Ooh. All right. So this is a tune. It's on the album. It sounds a lot like this because I just sing it myself. It's called Talkin' Mars Dust Blues. And if you have any questions, particularly about this song, I feel like, not to put too much structure on the darn thing, but that might be a fun sort of dramaturgical curatorial shape, is if, afterwards I'm like, what are your questions? Are they about the song? I just played the song. Now I'll answer the questions. Maybe a question occurs because of the song. Who knows? Okay. Oh. I hit my tooth on my harmonica. Okay, both wrong. Should we keep it here? Yep. The song is called Talkin' Mars Dust Blues. It is a true story. my girl, we lived underground and hauled fake hearts in and out of town. We got the money. We bought clothes and groceries and loved on each other the very best that we could. But the jig got busted and the girl was a bot, so they hauled her away and put me right in the court. And I swapped out prison for a stint on Mars, doing hard labor with the convict czar. Flew me up in a bar car, sucker went light speed, dropped me off in a big old Martian crater. Well, I looked around, I tried not to cry, and that red old dust storm that filled the sky. And the other fellas there, they's mostly full bots, just guilty for living, more likely than not. Of course, you know, they're pretty lucky to be living at all. Could have been spare parts, right? There we go now. Well, I got a little house in the Asimov crater. It was built for the folks who was coming in later. Went out every day, working big machines, turning red Mars rock into Earth-like things. Taking heaven out of hell. That ain't bad for a bunch of convicts, less thans, not quite humans. We built that planet. Sure did now. When the day was done, I could walk around, just up and down the lonesome town. It's not a whole lot to do yet on Mars. Mostly just a bunch of robots, convicts, everything looking like photographs of the 1950s. Yeah, well, they thought that idea go far, so they had us build replicas of early cars, and someone had to test them. I jumped aboard. I got a Cadillac with big fins, 2 doors. I jumped into the driver's seat and I drove down 42nd Street in my Cadillac. How about that? Woo! That's a good car to drive on Mars. Here we go now. Man alive, I'm telling you, coming down that crater, she really flew. I felt like I could outrun the law, but there's nowhere to go on Mars at all. Because it's a prison. Planet, colony, future Earth. It'll be your new address. You just give it a minute. Well, the work we done didn't leave us broke. So dadgum beat, I thought I'd croak. Some folks did, got worked to death, but you wouldn't have heard about their last breath. Cause they're just spare parts, right? Well, I go home and I go to sleep, and in my dreams there's electric sheep, but I'm a human. I think. Woo! Oh my gosh, I did it. Yay for me. Oh, wow. All right. I can't read everything that's in the chat later. What just happened? I turned around my camera. How do I don't know. What have I done? That's my cat Hex. Did you guys see Hex? What a cutie. I'm going to try to open this questions box. Oh my gosh. Overwhelming. This is how you just got to pick one. I have to be good at this. From Muffin Song. Read the liner notes, and I really liked how much they were framed. How much did you build out this word? Oh, I can push, I think, thing. You can all read it? Yeah! I have built out some of it, like all that stuff about like Rags being on the moon. Like there's some other content that I've created. There's like, I have like a timeline, but there's also a bunch of stuff that I haven't specifically built out. There's like lots more to create and discover in the world. And that's a joy for future projects and collaborators to play with. Yeah, and like the people that are mentioned in the liner notes who are creating the album, I didn't know that they existed until I had the idea to frame the album that way, for example. But hopefully there will be more building out of that world to come. Amazing. Okay, let me see here. Oh, I know. I think that I've got myself a timer here to make sure that I don't like completely mess up my time. And I was thinking this might be a good time to bring on Jesse and Andy. Jesse and Andy, are you out there? Are you listening? Did I break your expectation of when you would be here? Yeah. I don't know. Jesse and Andy. Oh, yeah, there she is. Jesse, do you want to request in? You guys, this technology it's so good. It's I who am flawed. Oh my gosh, I see a little. Let me see what happens. Go live with Jessie Linden. Okay, friends, I'm about to bring up the one and only Jessie Linden and her partner. And Jessie played Devo in the show. It's happening. And of course, Devo doesn't use words. Hey.
Oh, I found it.
But Jessie does. Yeah.
I think we're in. Hi, Andrew.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Oh my gosh. This is Jessie and Jessie's partner, Andy. Hey. Yeah, and these two are gonna play. They're gonna play These Small Things, which is on the record. And I also know that Jessie had an anecdote for why she wanted to play this song. Take it away, Jessie.
Yeah, and please let me know if you can't hear me. This is weird. So when we did the show at Ars Nova on 54th Street, we used the 4th floor loft space as the green room, dressing room, which was cool because it's big and it's far away from the stage and there's a piano up there. So after Andrew and Tony would go down to start the show, the rest of us had about 20-25 minutes to keep getting dressed and throw makeup on. And more often than not, as I remember, Stacy and Rick would warm up together while Debbie and I were still getting ready. And they would often play this song, These Small Things, just with piano. So this is inspired by their version. I don't know what their exact version is, but we threw together our version that's completely inspired by them and in honor of them. So we hope you enjoy it. It's These Small Things. Remember when you entangled blues of indigo and cyan, I mopped the floor, we laid in loves and forgive and time. I catch myself thinking of you and can't remember why. These small things, they feel like dying. These small things, they feel like dying. Little yellow teapot and no pictures on the wall. Tiny leaves I gathered to remind you of the fall. So many words I used to know don't mean a thing at all. These small things, they feel like time. And I know that I will never be the same. And I know that I can never face the pain. And I know that I should just give up the game, but I'm still here. I'm glad I'm here. Even though I know that we will never more believe. I see your face, just an inch above the corn, and in your place, I'm many trinkets I have worn to the sky. Your mother's lemon tree will grow way up high, where you and I will never go, never go, never go, never go. These small things, they feel like dying. These small things, they feel like dying. But I'm still here. I'm glad I'm here. Even though I know that we will never more be near. That old me is gone now, but she will never now appear.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, that option on the end, that option on that note, get out of here in a good way. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Okay, wait, did anybody have any questions? I didn't prep this well. I should have been like, if you have a question for Jesse and Andy, I guess, you should throw it in the questions box. But, you know, I didn't say it. But there are questions in the questions box, but I don't know if they're relevant to this in particular. Can you get accordion player delivered for next concert? There are so many good ones in here. Does anybody have a question or a thought for or about Devo and Jesse? They can throw it. You can throw it into the chat. How long have you played the drums prior to the show? That's a great question.
I believe I started playing drums in 3rd grade, and had some on and off and some wrestling, and then we made friends again, I think, in middle school and did not look back.
I'm going to interpret that answer as you had a brief period of time where you gave up drums because you were like on a wrestling team. You did some wrestling, and then you're like, I'm going back to drums. But you're also an amazing singer, and I was so glad that you were down to sing for this because I feel like a real asshole for putting you in a role where you don't get to sing.
You want to tell where that idea came from?
Sure, totally. When we did a very early concert of the show, Debbie was unable to speak. Debbie, who played S, who does speak in the show. And she had like a board that she wrote. We would like ask her questions. She would write answers on. Because Debbie, the performer, literally was unable to do vocal. She was on vocal rest at the time because of a voice thing. She could speak to it in a moment. She's coming up next. Get ready, Debbie. And then the idea was so fun that I sort of took it and extrapolated it into the world of this idea of Devo, who doesn't use like verbal human language. Not that Devo couldn't probably patch something like that in. I think it's probably possible for Devo, but Devo's not interested in capitulating to human norms in that way. human norms, all humans into like, well, we'll get into the semantics later. Okay, Jesse, that was so beautiful. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
I'm gonna push the little X on your screen and return you to your apartment. And Debbie's gonna call in, and it's gonna be amazing. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh man, let me tell you, when you click that little X button, the word they use is remove. Remove Jesse Linden was the option I had to press to make that happen. I need to talk to somebody on Instagram about that. Debbie, you out there? I'm looking at my set list here when I look off. I'm like, what's on the set list? It's Debbie Jong. Debbie, I know you're out there. So Debbie Jong played S. Pinvent in the show and played the bass. Debbie says that she can't request in. Tricky. Let me see if I can find Debbie in the list of folks here. I don't know quite why that would be. There's a lot of folks on this list like I thought there would be. Well, maybe we can just... I found you. I'm going to add you. Wow, this must be so fun, this part of the show, where it's like watching for somebody to be like, what's my email password? Is it...
Yay! We did it! Oh, hold on.
So this is Debbie and Nate. Nate, Debbie's husband.
Hi!
Hey, friends. Oh my gosh. Debbie, thanks for joining in to celebrate our album.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's my first cast album. So
Me too.
I'm just so excited. I've been like listening to it nonstop since midnight last night.
Wow, yo. You should have slept.
Well, I mean, our sleeping schedule is crazy now. I mean, I sleep at 5 a.m. every day, and I don't know why.
Well, if I know, Debbie Jong is often performing until late into the night, even under normal circumstances.
That's true. So, that's just our normal sleeping schedule, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is time anymore? Nobody knows. Okay,
Yeah.
Debbie and Nate are going to perform Stella Charlemagne, I
We
think.
switched instruments. I'm normally playing bass, and now I'm playing guitar.
Amazing. And if you have
Nate's playing a fretless bass, which is kind of cool.
extremely, I want to say funky. Who knows?
Yeah.
So if anybody has any questions that pertain to Debbie and Nate or this song, throw them into the question box thing during the tune.
Yeah.
While we enjoy it. Take it away, y'all.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't forget my lyrics, but we'll see.
Before you start,
I'll just like stop. I'll stop and start over if I do.
Yeah, that's my plan. Before you start, Debbie, I'm going to shout at Rick. Everybody close your ears. Rick, can you hear me? Rick, I think I'm going to jump to you next in the set list. All right? Rick, can you hear me? Okay, everybody uncover your ears now. Just little band chatter.
Band chatter. All right, well, this is Stella Charlemagne. It's one of my favorite songs in the show. So. Stella Charlemagne has a phobia of rain, has a face like freckled snow, has a warm, uncanny glow. Caught in a sudden storm, a kind man offers up his arms. His umbrella shields them both in the ice of past and goes. They fall in messy love, and by a little robot dog, they moved into a cozy room, but cannot make three of their two. Then one stormy afternoon, she's sitting with her beau. A shadow turns up at the door with secrets to bestow. Says he's been tracking her for 50 years or more. Stella Charlemagne ain't what she thinks she is. And Stella Charlemagne thought she had her mother's name, but when the records checked, they find that she did not exist. And the tattered photographs that had pinned her to the past are tragically revealed to be much less than real. So she wonders who she is if she isn't really this. And she wonders where she'll go since the world doesn't want her anymore. And the man she's grown to trust now sees her with disgust. He breaks her metal heart. They take her back and take her apart. And now Stella Charlemagne and her lace like robot brain are sitting on a shelf. Makes me wonder about myself.
Ooh. Yo.
Hey!
Beautiful. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Okay. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this question, see if we have a question that we want to answer. Jason.
I know, this song is so sad.
That'll take too long to calculate. Okay, we're gonna take a question from Jason Egan, artistic director of Ars Nova and Amazing Human. How many instruments in total do the three of you play? I want to know how many the two of you play. I'm gonna.
Is it Lulu? Lulu's in here somewhere. Lulu, hold on. My dog is coming.
Lulu
in.
plays our heartstrings all the
Oh
time.
my gosh, Lulu. Is there a count of these? So these two are unbelievable multi-instrumentalists. They play everything. Do you have a number on how many instruments?
Nate, what's it?
My last count was 12 or 13, but I'm sure that the three of us overlap in a few of those.
We do overlap. I think we overlap in about 8 of them.
Guitar, bass, keys.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you play everything I play. So,
Maybe. You've been on violin. I haven't played violin.
yeah, but I'm not very good at violin. But I think I maybe about 13 or 14, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Certainly, the 3 instruments that I play are of those instruments. But I think we should just count them all as individual specific instruments and say that the answer is 36 or something.
Perfect.
I mean, Nate plays the didgeridoo, so I don't play the didgeridoo.
37.
37.
That one got
So,
left
I
out.
mean, we're collectors of instruments.
Yeah. A playground of a music rehearsal space, I'm sure. You guys,
Yeah.
thanks so much for coming and playing. That
Thank
song
you.
was so beautiful. It's so good to see your pup. Some
Thank you
dog.
for having us.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna say goodbye to you, friends. I'm gonna have to click
See you, man.
remove.
Congratulations.
Bye.
Thanks. All right, and we're gonna see if we can find one Rick Burkhart in the mix. Let's see what we got in my little request to join section here. Will it open up? Hard to say. Rick, are you out there? Rick says add me. Can you add yourself, Rick? My little panel is not opening up, which is very upsetting. I'm pushing the button. It's going gray. It's coming back to white. And then nothing is happening. So I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm going to open questions again. that's recommending to be added. It's only working through this marriage. Maybe if I review. Yeah. Gosh, thank you, other friends, requesting in. That's like a helpful impulse. You know, my bring friends on function seems to be a little bit askew. I don't quite know how to do it. And Rick, see what happens if you leave the feed and you come back on. And in the meantime, I'm gonna play a song. Or listen to Bria's advice. Bria always has really good advice. I'm gonna grab this other guitar right here. So I'm gonna play a cut song from the show. This song was actually in a few previews, and then we took it out for balance and like flow reasons and all kinds of good reasons. But it's a song that I really love, and I know has some fans around Ars Nova. And I think I told them that I was going to play it third, and I'm playing it now, so I hope they haven't been angry at me until this moment. But it's called Filling Up the Hours. It's a song that Rags wrote, and it's a song that Rags wrote after the events of the show, the concert and the raid. So the song that he wrote later on. And in the show, it would have gone right before 100 Years, or that's where we had tried out placing it before we took it out. So I'm going to play it for you here. I've got some lyrics to make sure I don't mess it up, and the light is strange, but I'm not afraid. All right, here we go. And lo, the mighty city falls, the books, the walls, the towers tall are tumbling down. And who is left who can recall the ships at bay, the cozy days, our hidden halls? The pleasure dawns are overgrown, we should have known they wouldn't last, that twisted, strange, bowing to the god of change. I wonder if you're someplace new. I've been filling up the hours, I've been spelling out your name, I've been seeing you in dark-haired little girls and patterned light that's cast across the window pane. I'll probably never see your face, and if our memories erased, where are you then? A golden record deep in space, the remnant of a foolish race, Alexandria again. The pleasure dawns are overgrown, we should have known they wouldn't last, they're twisted, strange, bowing to the god of change. Will we ruin someplace new? I've been filling up the hours, I've been spelling out your name, I've been seeing you in dark-haired little girls, and everything you built but couldn't claim. Every morning that I wake, I'm several dreams farther away from the ones I shared with you. And I don't know how to go on, how to believe or trust in simple things, or what I wanted yesterday. Now yesterday is gone. Gone. I've been filling up the hours, I've been spelling out your name, I've been seeing you in dark-haired little girls and patterned light that's cast across the window pane. I miss everything, I miss everything, I miss everything, I miss everything. Yeah, the song's called Filling Up the Hours. It's not in the show. Thanks for listening. Okay, you guys, I don't know how to get Rick Burkhardt in here, but he plays a me accordion somewhere in the world. I don't know how to do it. I think I've lost that particular functionality here. Rick? Andrew, we're all crying now. What do we do? You tell Instagram to let me figure out how to get Rick Burkhardt in here. Well, I'm at a little bit of an impasse. I know, Debbie, I want Rick too. We all want Rick. I think a good long-term solution for this, and Rick is there, but I can't get him in. If anybody has, a dreamy fix for this, throw it my way. And at the very bare minimum, I'll make Rick record himself singing this song, and we'll share it afterwards. Because I don't know how to get him in. Nothing happens when I push the buttons. It says if he leaves. I think a problem is maybe on my end. Yeah, Rick has requested, and some other great folks have also requested, I think in an attempt to try and figure it out. It is definitely on my end. I have successfully turned the camera around again. Now it's back. Okay. This little stand, which is, for the record, a tiny box. Yeah, Rick, you requested, and I saw it. It worked, but it also didn't work. You guys, it's not working. It is not working. Oh my gosh, you're a genius. Wait, how will that work? Alternatively, have Paige FaceTime him in. Bria, you're too smart. I don't understand. Friends, I have another song that I know that I'm going to play, so I'll return to another round of Can We Get Rick Burkhardt on the feed in just a moment. Paige, I hear, my Paige, my incredible partner, is troubleshooting. In the meantime, I have a deeply ironic song to play for you. It's another cut song. Somebody requested that I play it. I'm going to play it sitting down. I'm not even tilt the phone this way. See what happens. We cut this song, but it's a fun song.
Is Rick's account private?
Is Rick's account private? That might be the thing that's happening. Rick, if your account is private, that might be an issue. But I don't know that it is. So just another thought. The song is called I Got a Friend. Rick Burkhardt. I got a friend. I got a friend. Well, I got a friend. You wouldn't count much on him. He's got real thin skin. Yeah, he's a real live wire. He's a real short fuse. He'll go all the way. He ain't got nothing to lose, but he's got something to prove. Oh, he's a good old friend to me. Oh, he's a good old friend to me. Yeah, he's a good old friend to me. I'm always happy to see. Yeah, I got a friend. 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 Yeah, I got a friend. Oh, I got a friend. I got a friend. Oh, I got a friend. I got a friend. Yeah, 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 yeah. We walk in the park. We swim in the sea. Hold hands in the park. At some cowboy movie. The hero wears black. The villain wears brown. They have a shootout in some tumbleweed town. We know how it ends, but we watch it again because we can't nobody ever knew when I was going to end that song as I was leaving it. Maybe that's why it got cut. I don't know. Jordan Fine might have to weigh in. Jordan Fine, our illustrious director. Which is a good moment to shout out the rest of our amazing team. Jordan worked on the album. Madeline Smith, our incredible music director, worked on the album. Of course, Tony Jarvis played on the album, tenor sax and bass clarinet beautifully. And then, of course, the most important piece of the puzzle, Stacey Sargent. Can I get some Stacey Sargent love in the chat? And none of those friends are going to be able to be with us this eve, but we're sending them our biggest love. And Stacey's performance on the album is truly incredible. It is worth the price of admission just to hear her sing those songs right into your ears and to speak those words. Yeah, look at all those hearts. Oh, she's the very greatest. I still can't bring Rick Burkhardt in. And so, yeah, it's not Rick. Everybody who's like, Rick, leave, come back, Rick, do this, Rick, do that. The problem is me. I don't know why I'm such a problem, but I am a problem. Ooh, another thing you should ask Jordan Fine about. You know, friends, I think this is just the peril of the modern age. Yep. You guys, I know it's tricky because there's nobody here to confirm that I'm doing what I'm saying I'm doing. Or to be like, everybody's like, I wish I could see the phone. I would push the button better. You probably don't think that, but sometimes I feel that way. When somebody's like, the button won't work. I'm like, what if I push the button though? I wish you were here to push the button. The button won't push. We'll deliver Rick Burkhardt. I personally demand that we have some Instagram action of Rick Burkhardt playing the song, and we are going to figure it out. In the meantime, though, let me look at my set list and see what's up. We've got like 7 minutes left, which I think puts me pretty much right in position for Rick to play a song and then for me to play a song. But I'll share a little thing with you in the meantime. Loving this love in the chat. Wait, you sound so clear when you pick up the phone. I'm gonna learn from that later. So I've got one last tune that I'm gonna play for you before I run out of time here. Yeah, thank you, Janae. Yes, correct. I mean, he's very good at it. No amount of distance can stop Jordan from directing well. Hire him, and then Jordan will hire me. I'm going to play this last tune for you. It's 100 Years of Subterranean Society Blues. I thought that that would be a really nice ending. I didn't want to play Delilah at the end. It felt like not the perfect move. So I was digging around through some old drafts of the script, because as soon as I was like, oh, I should play 100 Years Last, I think that has the ending that I want. I remember that it used to be the last song in the show. And when it was a solo show, just Rags, he would end the show in one of these drafts with 100 Years. The song was framed differently then. It the backstory for the song was different. In fact, it was the very first song that I ever wrote that became a part of the Rags Parkland universe. It's a song from which a lot of the Rags Parkland universe actually emerged. So I found this old script because I was like, I wonder what I would say before it. So I found the script. It's labeled Rags Script 2 because I was 23 years old and didn't know how to take care of my future self who was trying to find a like when I did what script. But it is dated because of technology. Dated at October 4th, 2010 is when this was the intro to the song. And a thing that you maybe need to know is that in that version of the show, Rags talks about a terrible nuclear disaster that had very, very recently, before his concert on Earth, destroyed the city of Bishkek. Bishkek is the capital of Kyrgyzstan. And in Rags' future world, it seems like it's an even larger city than it is today, and very important. And nobody knows what happened, but he talks about it a bunch. It's like the thing that is hanging over the room in that show. And he plays 2 songs about it, and then he plays his last song of the concert. and I had written for him to read this about the song. Rex, there you go. There's so much promise in life, and so much movement and potential for things to go right and wrong. This is the last song on my set list. I wrote it just after Bishkek went, thinking about the people trapped underground there, thinking about our future, thinking about the things we've been promised, and the possibility that the things we wish for may be curses that we bring down on our heads. Thinking about a future where we too are trapped. It's called 100 Years of Subterranean Society Blues. And I'm going to put a little bit of the Beau interlude text into it. There's a black dog in the window watching everything I do. There's a black dog in the window watching everything I do. Well, it's been a long time coming, baby. Oh, no, that's not how it goes. I started thinking about the microphone placement on my cell phone. There's a black dog in the window watching everything I do. There's a black dog in the window watching everything I do. Well, he might have tried to warn me, babe, but I don't know, I was busy watching you. There's a gray dog on the sidewalk, and he's pissing on the curb. There's a gray dog on the sidewalk, and he's pissing on the curb. Well, it's been a long time coming, baby. Don't pretend you haven't heard. There's 100 pounds of fennel, and it's growing on the ground. There's 100 pounds of fennel, and it's growing on the ground. But the clouds, they are descending, so you know it won't stick around. Well, the sky's a whole lot closer now. The Atlantic's mighty wide. Well, the sky is a whole lot closer now. The Atlantic's mighty wide. Well, we're all coming together, babe. You and me, the ocean and the sky. And we're gonna live forever when our blood is full of gold. Yeah, we're gonna live forever when our blood is full of gold. Well, we might get sad and lonely, babe. We ain't never getting old. Well, soon we will know everything. They'll just put it in our mind. Yeah, soon we will know everything. They'll just stick it in our mind. Well, first they'll pick out everything and then they'll leave the rest behind. There's 100 pounds of fennel lying dead upon the earth. There's 100 pounds of fennel lying dead upon the earth. And we might have tried to save it if we had known what it was worth. There's a lot to be scared of, both ahead of us and behind us. But there's also a lot to fight for, and a lot of ways to fight for it. Thanks for fighting with us. There's a bright morning coming, St. Peter's on the stairs. There's a bright morning coming now, St. Peter's on the stairs. And the day we move above the ground, we will let go of all of these cares. Thanks, you guys. It was so great to have you. I think this feed is going to cut me out in just a moment. My mom just said love, 2 classic tabbies. Love you, Mom. Check out the album. It's on Spotify. It's all around. Show some love to Ars Nova. They're truly the greatest. Thanks for having me. Thanks for listening. Keep singing. I'll see you around. Good night, y'all. Have fun. I love you.